Hi all, Renee here. I am here today to show you the cards that I made for Kendra's Card Challenge number 20. In addition, this is my first project from the Stampin' Up 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar for 2025. I am going to keep track of how many products, or how many projects, not products, projects I make. I made 15 cards, which is what the card challenge makes this time. And I haven't even hardly dented the supplies. So I used mainly the stamp set and the dies that came in the calendar. I pulled in a couple of old dies that I just had laying around, and then I think just a basic circle die I had to use, and maybe one additional stamp just to fit a certain space. But other than that, and a little bit of ribbon, I think everything came from the Advent calendar. So without further ado, if you're not familiar with Kendra's Card Challenge, this is what it's all about. These are QR codes that you can scan to get more information, as well as I will put information down in the description box below. It's a great challenge. It's free. She does have a Patreon though, so if you want some additional goodies, check out her Patreon. So put that aside. I love the card challenges though, because it challenges me. I was trying to find a better word than challenge. It challenges me to use my supplies in maybe a different way than I would normally, because I tend to fall back on the same card challenges, or not card challenge, card sketches all the time. So this gives me new card sketches to use, as well as a cutting guide. I pretty much followed the sketch for every single one, and use the papers that cut no matter what, except on a couple cards where I just had to cut something different because it just didn't go together. These particular papers from the Advent calendar are not double-sided. I will say that the card challenge works much better when you have a double-sided paper. So with that all said, let's just go ahead and get into the 15 cards. So I think I have them in order, so if you're following along in the challenge, you can see which ones. I will also, on the Facebook group, I will post each one of these cards in their individual, what are they called? Albums. I gotta find my words today. So here's the first one. I think this one turned out really cute. This one I did use a piece of ribbon, and the main reason I did that is because my cutting wasn't what it should have been. I was kind of distracted when I was cutting. I was watching TV. And my papers didn't line up quite right, so I put a piece of ribbon and that covered that right up, so it worked out great. This was just an old die from my stash. I think it's Spellbinders, maybe, not sure. So, and the rest is all from the Advent calendar kit. Oh, and I just pulled in solid color cardstock, and I was shocked at how many different colors there were in these papers. I just kept pulling paper. I'm like, yeah, that paper goes, that paper goes, that paper goes. It was awesome. So there's card one. Let me see if I can keep it in the frame. So by the time we get done, you can see all the cards in one place. Let's get rid of this. Okay, and card two. I think this turned out so pretty. And this I did second generation Night of Navy for the petals, and then first generation Night of Navy for the inner piece. And then I think that was Darling Duckling, might have been Lemon Lolly. I'm not sure which one it was. Unfortunately, I did not do a good job of keeping track of all the colors that I used. Sorry about that. So here's the next one. So pretty. I love the way this one came out. This is a really simple sketch, and something that you can use pretty small scraps. My goodness, where are my words today? I have got to find my words. And this one turned out really cute too. Again, these are scraps, or could be done with scraps very, very easily. So I love that. I love that. And I love all of the things that came in the Advent calendar. It really made it so much fun to do these cards, because I had all kinds of like little embellishments. I had stamping spots. I had all, you know, these little blingies, all kinds of fun things. And then of course this was the dies that were included in the advent calendar. I love the way this one came out. Again, really simple and an easy way to use solid color cardstock and some small scraps that you have left over. So let's see how far I can go. I think that might be the last card I can fit on that row. This one came out so incredibly cute. I love, love, love this one. So I think I'm going to make some more with this design. It was so simple to cut, and I agonized over this part of the cutting, but you know, you really don't need to, because it's going to fit no matter how you cut it. So that one. And then this one, again, is a really great way. I just used a basic circle die that I had, and you could really do any shape you wanted. You could do little hearts, you could do squares, whatever little dies you have. That's a great way to use some of your dies. So we'll do that. Love the way this one came out. So pretty. I love this paper. Just that watercolor look just seems so springy and happy. Okay, and then this one, I did change this one up just a little bit, just because I wanted to use this card. This was one of the cards from the kit, and I just really thought that looked pretty together, so I just wanted to use one of the cards. So I made this a little bit bigger than Kendra had on her sketch. So there's that, and I think we're going to run out of room, so I'm just going to have to lay these on top. Again, great way to use up some scraps. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but the white piece on the back is another one of the cards that came in the advent calendar that is embossed with flowers. And then this hello, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that this die makes its appearance in almost everything I make. So this one turned out really, really cute. Again, I love that background. It's very, very similar to this design here. Excuse me. And this back here was Flirty Flamingo second generation. So it's a butterfly. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on the camera very well, but in person you can definitely tell that it's a butterfly. And I just did it in second generation so that I could use it as a background for the sentiment. Here's another one. And this one I played around a little bit. I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but underneath this gem is the glitter glue from the advent calendar, and I think it looks really pretty in person, and I can't wait to use it more. So there's that one, and that's another one that's a really simple design that would be great for all kinds of paper. This one turned out so cute. While I was trying to line these guys up, I'm like, this isn't going to look like much because there's really not that much paper here. And it turned out great. But this is one of the ones that I had to grab a little bit different piece of paper. That right there is just a little bit different piece of paper, but it's still from the advent calendar supplies. Okay, this one actually turned out so fun. So the design just has you use anything you want on the back here. You could use just plain cardstock. You could use something embossed. It didn't matter. This right here is actually cut from the box of the advent calendar. So if you hear me talking about the advent calendar, you know what I'm talking about. Just check out my advent calendar video where I opened every single box. Every single window, I guess I should say, and then I took the box itself and I cut it all apart, and I have all the pieces laying over here in a little bucket, and this is the first piece that I used, so this was part of the box. So great way to use the box. And then the last card I absolutely love. I am definitely going to be using this design many times, because a lot of times when you take 6x6 paper and you cut it down to make card fronts and everything, you come out with these strips. And this would be a great way to use those strips up. So that is all of my cards. There's the stamp set again, and Kendra's card challenge. I'll hold this here. I'll sit that there so you can do the QR codes. I really highly recommend her card challenges. The way that she does everything is so well done. I have never run into a mistake with any of the measurements, the cutting guide, putting anything together, and it's very easy. And then also what she shows is which papers are going to go together on which card. And while I did look at this before I picked my papers, because this wasn't two-sided paper, I didn't really have a lot of wiggle room. That's why I had to make a couple little changes on the colors of the paper that I used. But that's okay, because the pieces that I did cut, I set them aside and I'll use them for something else, you can bet. So here's this, talks about the prize sponsors. And here are all the benefits and perks depending on what kind of a supporter you are. The card challenge itself is free every quarter. So if you can't afford it, but you still want to use the card challenge and be involved, totally free. She's so awesome for doing that. So with that, I'm going to leave you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.